Oh, is it not? Better. Thomas James. You can forget me, but remember him, okay? This was his first and only book, and once upon a time when I was a baby poet, someone gave it to me, and it's since, I think, saved me on several occasions. This poem is called The Hostage. I will obviously let it speak for itself. The Hostage. When I step out, sun cuts me like a razor, edging into this steep place of branches. I trudge to a hillside where there are only dandelions, and sheep coming unstuffed like ancient cushions. I blink and look about. No room for miracles here. The sky is a pale gray slate with chalky smudges. But in a vein of the hill where last year's weeds have starved themselves to death and only chickweed flowers in the broken stones, I find a car wedged in the bracken. A few slender feathers ride up and vanish. In a briar patch of skeletons, the engine purrs in the center of its wreckage. I step into a field of weeds so deep, it is like wading into brackish water, yellowed with pond scum and gold filaments that have dislodged themselves out of a brittle sky, out of its steely vapors. The chrome bumper gleams and fades, fastened in its nest of rubble. Leaf shadows flicker on the damaged hood, reflecting bits of light. A bird might take it for another world and perish in these reflections. I strain forward. A boy lies broken in the driver's seat, broken but not extinguished. For his body holds a silence like the fierce moment after a match is kindled. Why isn't he aflame? Surely his arms have turned to wings by now, wings flaking into cinders, his body glowing slender as a fawn's. A purple flower is clinging to the windshield, but it is broken also. A petal slides down the glass and flutters like a tiny, vibrant tongue. Behind the glass, his face is mottled in shadow. The prints of leaves have stained his arms. He lies shoulder deep in a pool of amber shadows, whose ripples spread and pull their thin skeins back. I would like to wash my hands in all that darkness. I open the door. A needle of sun intrudes. Is this what it is to be broken, to be moored in shadow? A gravelly echo of sheep rivets me here. I bend to him and take him by the shoulders, but not a thing inside him will ignite. So I take his slender wings into my arms and say, where has your first dream vanished now? Your dream. I'd really like to read that poem. All right, so this is your opportunity to make your chairs squeal. I know that's terribly awkward. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read to you by me now. Thank you also to my parents and my Aunt Bridget for being here today, which means a lot to me. And yeah, I think this poem might have also started at the super fun, but it's called Evergreen Cemetery. Now that I am free from all I love, the black scaffold of the bare magnolia, standing at the edge of spring, when sex will rot through or gather on its limbs like dust. I see the full bloom slum coming and the tramp stamp sunlight of summer muscling the alabaster blossoms off. In a wind shaken off, as a dog flings water from fur, wrung water blossoms flung earthward, gardenward, white wax petals drifting in the humid grass as snow is now, like marble chips at a sculptor's feet. Now, even in the green death of leaf, I hear the bare tree's disappearance reappear for me. Winter-stricken ribs throb through the earth's green dress and reflect in the dun sheen of the meltwater pond, now that I am free from all I love. This one's called The Cathedral. It's a bad cathedral, sort of, other things too. Of the sun sings in the sieves of the leaves, I will not speak. Oh, I messed it up already. Sorry. I won't have to repeat too much. Of the sun sings in the sieves of the leaves, like arrows in Sebastian's ridden ribs, I will not speak. Of the leafing haze hatch on the hills, seeming patchwork shimmer of a prized butterfly's scissor wings pinned apart, winter's dull tin turned to spring's alchemical din, I will not. Of colors cross-hatched, lead-veined in the wheat fields through a stained window plague, vines in the branches like lost clots of hair in a shower drain, of history like a wind through all seasons, in a place made sacred before Christ for its endless well where the skeletons of the first saints still drown, Our Lady whose eyes are underground, who saw in the war the medieval windows slit out, taken down, and sacked in rows in the catacombs like bags of potatoes as Germany's plosive torque tightened and rolled. Rooks blown in and out of the raw Solaris stories. The numb-cut windows and Christ's stretched apart arms unscrewed, but his imprint still there in the cross as a sun-damaged watermark. Of faith unfading from the shade-shapen grain, of crooked phrases turned until trued and tried and memorized, as if the only way to speak in shadow was to rhyme. There's a reception.
Real quickly, thank you all again for being here. And if you don't know, there will be a reception upstairs where there should be some refreshments. So please join us in the English Lounge right upstairs. Thank you.
This has been a production of Cornell University, on the web at cornell.edu.